Hello, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit about my case discussion. It was on one of the clients that I worked with this summer, actually. I've talked about him before in one of my other posts, but we will call him JR. He is 17 years old. He is just finished up his junior year in high school, and he's going into his senior year at a local high school here in Oakland. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at the age of 7, and he's 17 now. He doesn't have any other health concerns. He has been in speech therapy a couple different times. Currently, he's in speech therapy in a private practice, and he does group therapy focusing on social communication and pragmatics with one other teenager. So he's with another teenager that's also in high school, but a little bit younger. And this group just has a good dynamic. So um, it works for them. And they've been doing this therapy group for 6 months with each other and the SLP that leads it. And then I was also able to join in that. So JR started therapy from concerns from his parents around his social communication. As he approaches adulthood, they really want to help him develop social skills that he can use as he has his next goals. He is very high functioning. He is in mainstream classes. He does very well and gets good grades. He is planning on attending a four-year university after graduating, and it's expected that he would do that. He currently takes a class at Berkeley. They offer some high school, some college credits that high schoolers can take. So he's currently doing that this summer, and he, really likes it for the most part. So most of my goals have been in terms of like counseling and interacting with him was first to build rapport with him. So to get to know him, to help understand, what motivates him, what drives him. He is very into video games. He likes a lot of different video games. I couldn't even name them because I don't know all of them. But a lot of the times in conversation, he will bring it back to the video games that he likes right now. Um, and so I wanted to get to know him, uh, and things like that. What is he like and what motivates him? He is very motivated by being independent. So in our conversations, what I could get from that was that it's really important for him to be able to go to college and be independent, and separate himself a little bit from his parents. So that was a huge motivator. I also learned from that building rapport is that it wasn't really his desire to even come to therapy. That was more for his parents, but he does enjoy going to therapy. So there is some motivation just to kind of engage in that process. In terms of like eliciting motivation, some similar things. So really getting to know who is this person and what did they want in their life. And so while there's kind of a disconnect between what his parents' goals are for him is really to be able to interact in all these different social situations. His motivation is more to be able to be independent. So a lot of our conversations around what he wanted were how to bridge that gap. Like, so if he wants to be independent, how might social skills come into play in these different situations? So if he wants to live on his own, what might that look like? Like, what do you need to do in order to live on your own? And how would you need to handle different social situations? So I really wanted to get at what his motivations were. In terms of motivational interviewing, I really just listened a lot to him. I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to use all the motivational interviewing techniques with him, but I wanted to listen to him and really reflect back what I heard him saying. One of the big things with JR is that he often gets very negative and talks negative about himself. So he will say things like, oh, I'm just not good at that, or, oh, I just can't have conversations with people. And uh, really like in a negative way. And so my motivation when he said those things how I did that was just asking him, like rephrasing it. So, you know, you don't think you're very good in conversations. And then he would continue to talk about it. And then one of the things that I noticed that I did myself was kind of told him that, no, like you did great. Like that was awesome how you engaged there. And told him kind of opposite what he was saying about himself, and didn't acknowledge as much that that was how he felt. And so that's one of my own critiques of my processing, was that I could have acknowledged more like how that was his reality, while also asking him more clarifying questions of like, okay, like I know you think you're not that good at this, like what could you have done better, and help him to focus on kind of next steps instead of dwelling in the what he didn't do well. Um, I think, this one particular situation was a really great opportunity for me to use the counseling techniques that we learned in this class and motivational interviewing. What I take away from it is really that it's so important to focus on what that individual client's unique motivations are for whatever they're doing. I think this is kind of a unique case in where I'm having kind of like a social therapy group, but I think I could take this experience and put it into other experiences. So I think, making sure to really ask the client, like, what are your goals? What do you want to get out of therapy? And then maybe my goals are a little bit different for that client. But often you can find the similarities and really focus on what that client wants, and what they want to get out of therapy, and then use that motivation to help them get to whatever goals that you have set for them. So for this particular client, for JR, I could really focus on, so he wants to be independent. So how do we get him there? And really relying on that motivation to help build out his social skills. So we could even like reenact what it might look like to get a job, or what it might look like when you have a new roommate in college, and all of those things that are going to be really tangible to him in his life, to help him reach what he wants to reach. So this was my client, and kind of what I got out of it. Thanks so much.